Good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here on the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast. It's already September. Here we are, September the 2nd. I couldn't wait to get here. I could not wait to get here this evening. You all just give me 1,800 seconds, and I tell you why. I will tell you why before 1,800 seconds. But you all stay here. Do me a favor. Tell somebody that Cutler is on and invite them to come in. Share. Do me a favor. Go ahead and share this broadcast. Maybe other people will come in. They'll come in and they'll join the chat with us. But if you're just passing by this channel for the very first time, if you're passing by this channel for the very first time, let me tell you, this channel is about inspiration. It is about motivation. It is about challenging us to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. It doesn't mean that today was a failure or a flop. It doesn't mean that we didn't have any successes today. It just means that we are fortifying ourselves to say, how can I show up a little bit better? How can I make tomorrow better than today was? We're going to talk about that because you all know what we do. We share this time, we share this space, and usually we're reading quotes from this book right here, Billboards to Better, 366 daily sources of motivation and inspiration along the highway of life. But what I usually like to do is to open up by giving you all a challenging question. I'm going to give you a challenging question, and we're going to talk about this in just a moment. My question is this: have you taken your vitamin C? You all don't know where I'm going with that, but I promise you, we're going to talk about, have you taken your vitamin C? Think about what vitamin C is for, you all, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to make it make sense as soon as I come back. But meanwhile, go ahead and tell somebody, come on, let's come on and tell them, Cutler is on, you all. Come on and let's talk to Cutler. I'll be right back right after this. Y'all share and comment. Get ready. All right, I'll be right back.
Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
I am sitting here with a smile on my face, ready to engage in this conversation. So let me just go ahead and remind people that this channel, again, it's about inspiration. It is about motivation. It is about us being fellow passengers riding along the highway of life on a place that's called better. We are reading billboards, we're sharing quotes with each other, and we've been doing it for well over a year now. So I want to say thank you to those of you who have been following along, those of you who have joined the caravan, those of you who are fellow passengers. I'm thankful. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. Whatever space you've allowed me to come in, whether it's your living room, your kitchen, your dining room, your bedroom, your car, your front porch, your back porch, it doesn't matter. I am thankful. I really, really am thankful. And as many of you know, rather, I have been for, some time telling you, I just want to say thank you. So if you have the book, if you don't have the book, and you'd like to get one of the bookmarks that I will autograph and send to you, it's just my way of saying thank you. If you'd like to get one of those, please just let me know. Shoot me an email and I will send you a bookmark free. I'll autograph it, sign it, and send it to you free of charge. Just my way of saying thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for being a fellow passenger with me. And just in case you don't have my email address, let me just post it. It's talk2cutler@gmail.com. Talk and the number 2 cutler@gmail.com. It's right there. Just drop me your address and I'll send it to you. We say address in the South, or some people say address, but just drop me your address and I will make sure that I send it to you. Just again, my way of saying thank you. Thank you so very much. I also want to shout out the LTTC VIPs, those who jump right into the chat room first. They're Tracy Johnson. Tracy says, hey, everyone, ready for the ride. Zale, my friend Roselio Davis says, good evening, everyone. And then Annie Cutler says, get aboard, get aboard. You all, I want to say thank you all. Natural Diva Redella, it's so good to see you all. Thank you so much for being here and being in this space with me. As you all know, for me, if you were on my last broadcast, for me, the month of September is Word Guard. We are on Word Guard because how many of you all know that we have the power of life and death in our tongue? We can talk ourselves out of a miracle into a mess just by the mere words that we use. We can speak ourselves into positivity or power or into a pathetic, pitiful situation just based on the words that we use. We can create or we can destroy, we can construct or destruct simply based on the words that we use. So for the month of September, I'm calling it word guard for me, or just being very assiduous about the words that we use and making sure that we are patrolling our speech and patrolling our vernacular, making sure that we only speak positivity over our lives and over the lives of other people who are involved in our lives. All right. So giving you an idea of where we're going. We usually read on Thursdays our quotes for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But as we have almost made a whole annual cycle through this book, I'm doing something different. I've invited you all to send me some of your favorite quotes. I've invited you to send me some of your favorite billboards, because as we've been reading these billboards in this book, I do understand that in your individual lives, there are other billboards that you see, other billboards that you like. I'd like to hear some of those. So again, use that same address, talk2cutler@gmail.com, and send me some of your favorites. And I will certainly make sure, that you all get, that I will share some of those billboards. My friend Auntie's Advice Channel for Women, it is so good to see you. The word was assiduous. It just means that we're being very meticulous. We're being very thoughtful about the words that we use. We're being very thoughtful and careful and calculated and intentional about the words that we use, because this month, as I have recommitted to my physical health and healthier eating and healthier lifestyle, I want to make sure that I do the same thing mentally and psychologically and emotionally and spiritually. So I'm guarding my words. So we are on watch. We are on word guard and patrolling our words. All right. So then, no, the quotes don't have to be your own. They can just be other people's quotes. They could be quotes that your grandmother said, or quotes that your uncle, your auntie, your coworker, somebody said. But if it is a guiding quote that helps guide your life, do me a favor and email it to me. Again, I'll put my email up because last week I actually featured and talked about some of those quotes that some of you all have sent me, and I have a few others that you all have sent as well. So send me those quotes to talk2cutler@gmail.com. I'd love to hear some of those quotes, and I'll do my best to sort of unpack them and see how they can apply to us to help us show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. All right, I want to go ahead and get started with our conversation. And generally, I would read 3 quotes from the book, but as this is Thursday and we would look at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I want to go ahead and look at September 4th. September 4th in particular, and I'll share this with you. September 4th is the birthday of a dear friend of mine who died way too soon. A very special, very dear friend of mine. She died way too soon, and I will forever carry her in my heart. And I remember her in a very special way every year on her birthday. So I want to focus on this quote for September 4th. Yes, please listen. Share these challenges with everybody in your circle. Tell them to be on word guard. I promise you, when people start guarding the words that come out of their mouths, then their behavior will align with what. Y'all don't make me go there too early, but when you start guarding the words that come out of your mouths, your behavior will line up with what you say. It is true. When you speak, and you speak in authority and faith and power, you can have what you say. All right. So then I want to read only one quote from the book, and I want to talk about that. And the quote for September 4th simply says, "The enemy is like a virus. The enemy is like a virus. He comes when you are at your strongest. He never comes when you are at your strongest, but he comes when your resistance is down." He comes when your resistance is down. And Cutler, when you say enemy, what do you mean? I'm talking about anything you all that is contrary to the Creator's will for your life is an enemy. It can be the enemy of your heart, the enemy of your mind, the enemy of your finances, the enemy of your hopes, the enemy of your dreams, the enemy of your soul. It is an enemy if it is not aligned with the Creator's will for your life. It or he or she is an enemy. I just got to put that out there. All right. So what happens? The enemy comes not when you are at your strongest, but when your resistance is down. When your resistance is down. And I want to tell you that this quote, it is a reminder then to be intentional about guarding your life. You see that word guarding? This is a quote. This quote is a reminder to be intentional about guarding your life. It's a reminder to be deliberate and to be vigilant and on guard when it comes to your self-preservation. This quote is especially a reminder to those of us who have sometimes felt like we've been knocked back, knocked down, and sometimes knocked out by life. It's for those of us who sometimes feel like for every step we take forward, we sometimes suffer a setback. About 4 or 5 steps. You know, we categorize the people as haters, but I just that they are all enemies, you all. This quote again, it's for those of us we're just living life, doing our thing, trying to make life work, trying to make life happen, trying to make sure we're on top of life, and life is not on top of us. But I want to offer us some encouragement and some strategies within these 1,800 seconds that I hope that you would give me. Because the last time we chatted, I talked about, being on Word Guard for these 30 days and for the rest of this month. And one of the things that I'm aware of is that the enemy's strategies is to come in when we are at our lowest resistance. In other words, when our guard is up, the enemies of our hearts and our lives and our souls and of our dreams is less likely to wreak havoc. So, Cutler, how do we keep our resistance up? Use your words carefully. You want to keep your resistance up during the month of September. Watch your words, because you see, when you're dealing with one thing, when you are dealing with one thing, something else could come in one way. When your resistance is down, it's almost as if, I'm dealing with something else comes in. It's like kicking somebody when they're already down. It's like pouring salt on an open wound. My resistance is already down. It's like if it ain't one thing, it's another. But I'm hopeful that tonight, within these 1,800 seconds, that we can build up our resistance, that we can fortify ourselves, that we can strengthen, that we can embrace, we can nourish, we can build up, buttress ourselves this month with what? The power of our words. And I don't know about some of you, but one of the things that I constantly do when I'm nurturing and keeping myself up physically is to take my vitamin C. To keep my resistance built up, I'm going somewhere. So one of the things that I want to do this evening as we are on Word Guard is to engage you, my friends, my fellow passengers, in what I call this interactive discussion and conversation about vitamin C. Because you see, I have my list. I have my list of what the C stands for when it comes to keeping my resistance up. Keeping my resistance up against the enemy and against the negativity that come my way. I have a whole list of what the C could stand for. And at this point in my life, I'm telling you all this. I'll share this with you all. I've come to the realization that anything that does not line up, that does not synchronize itself with the will of God for my life, is an enemy of my soul. Because God's will for my life is peace and not evil, is serenity and not chaos. His will is that I prosper and be in good health. His will is that I have good success. So anything that speaks contrary to that, you all, is an enemy of my soul. Things that come, yes, to knock you off your game and to knock you off of your vision, to knock you off of your mission and knock you off of your strategy. So I inoculate myself against the efficiency of the enemy's strategies by taking my vitamin C. So I'm going to tell you what C stands for me. And what I would love for you all to do, is to put in the chat what the C stands for you all. And I'm going to see if I can talk about some of these all together, some of my C's and some of your C's. And we're not talking about being, caustic and clamorous. We got some C's that we're just going to kick to the side, and during the month of September, we're not even going to deal with those. Confusion. We're not dealing with those. We are using our tongue to speak power during the month of September. So for me, when it comes to fortifying myself and making sure my resistance is up, I give myself a dose of vitamin C, C being confidence. You all start putting these C's in the chat, so I pull them and talk about them. But I give myself a dose of confidence. Why, you all? Because confidence means that I am fully persuaded. It means that I am certain, I have a conviction that I'm not going to lose and that everything is going to be all right. I have confidence. I'm fully persuaded that I'm not going to be destroyed, that I'm not going to be defeated, that I'm not going to be consumed, that I'm not going to be demolished. I'm confident and I'm persuaded by whatever the Creator brings me to, He will bring me through. At this stage in the game, I'm not trying to throw away my confidence, you understand? And I'm not trying to lose grip on the profession of my faith, not the profession of what I say, because I'm holding on, because I know that I am one with God's sovereign and providential will for my life. So I give myself a dose of confidence. I give myself a dose. Thank you, Sonia Bailey. I give myself a dose of caring. I've got to learn how to love myself and care about myself. So I speak over myself this month of September that I care for me. I care about everything that concerns me. I care about the other people who are in my life. I care about my purpose. I care about my destiny. I care about my family. I care about my friends. I care about what I've been called to do, what I've been chosen to do. You got to give yourself a dose of caring. You got to give yourself, thank you, Tracy. You got to give yourself a dose of commitment. I am committed to myself. I'm committed to my well-being. I'm committed to finding a space and a place that is called better. I'm committed to improvement. I'm committed to my goals. I'm committed. You've got to be. So give yourself a dose of caring, a dose of confidence, a dose of being committed to yourself. I see yours, Wendy, and I'll come to it, but I tell you one of the other things that comes to me right now is courage. When it comes to vitamin C during this month of September, speak over yourself courage. You say, yes, I have courage, and that means I have the ability to face my difficulties without fear. I did not say that you won't have difficulties, because I do not want to give us any kind of disillusionment. But courage is one of the things that I share with us. Courage, it is the ability to face your difficulties without fear. Again, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have difficulties, but it means that rather than facing them with fear, you confront them with faith and with the favor that is on your life. When you face your difficulties with courage, you already know the outcome. You already know that you're going to win, so you just go through the motions. I want to encourage you all, during the month of September, just go through the motions, saying to yourself, I've got the courage. I already know I'm going to win. So here's what I want you to do. When I tell you this thing speaks to me, this conversation is good to me this evening, because I want you to know that you're already a winner. So go through the motions. Hal Cutler with the trophy in your hand and the crown on your head. I had to grab this seat. Take courage and just go through this month and speak over yourself courage that says, I'm going through the motions because I'm already a winner. So I got the trophy in my hand and the crown on my head. And then contentment. Thank you, Wendy. Contentment. You be satisfied. Listen, don't beat yourself up. Be at peace with where you are. One of the quotes that's in the back of the book, it says, listen, don't meditate on your problems, but meditate on your promise. Be content. Be at peace with who you are and where you are. Learn to be satisfied with where you are in life. Learn to be content and know that better is available. Contentment doesn't mean that I've settled for where I am. It means I accept where I am for right now, because somehow in the whole scheme of things, I believe that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes we get so frazzled because we're trying to be someplace other than where we are. But learn to be content. There's a passage that says, in whatsoever state I'm in, I've learned to be content. Thank you, Wendy, for sharing that. So give yourself, when you're giving yourself this vitamin C, give yourself a dose of contentment. Thank you, McDiner. Match that courage to do the right thing with the courage to face your difficulties without fear. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then thank you, Tilly. Y'all keep these coming. You know this is an organic conversation when I'm just taking your words and using them in this passage in our conversation tonight. Understand, give yourself a dose of remembering that you are covered by a higher power. And understand that this higher power guides, this higher power provides and protects and is concerned about your well-being. You've got to understand that your life is filled. I keep saying this over and over and over, that your life is filled with promise. And that the one who promised is a promise keeper. We are covered by a power that is higher than we are. And have confidence in that higher power. All right? And then I want to come back to you because Annie Cutler, yes, ma'am. I see cool, calm, and collected. Let me just go to all three of those. When you're talking about your vitamin C, give yourself the ability to maintain your cool. And say, listen, I'm not going to fall apart. I'm not going to fall apart. Cool, calm, and collected means that, listen, some of us are challenged in that area, you all. Remaining calm can be difficult. Am I being honest? Remaining calm can be so difficult for so many of us. But during this month, when we are on word guard, I want us to remind ourselves that my spirit is at ease. I'm talking about using our words, y'all, speaking these things out, saying, listen, my spirit is at ease and my soul is calm. I'm not doing anything these next 30 days to drive my blood pressure up, to increase my anxiety, or to end up with the stroke. I'm not doing it. I'm going to remain cool, calm, and collected. I'm going to cast my cares on the one who cares for me. Y'all don't make me go there because I feel myself already going. But thank you. I'm going to remain cool, calm, and collected. I'm casting my cares on the one who cares for me. I'm casting my problems in the hands of the one who provides for me. I'm going to place my challenge in the hand of the one who has chosen me. I'm going to put my fears in the hands of the one who fights for me. And I'm going to put my low moments in the hands of the one who lifts me. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to remain cool. Thank you, Mom. I'm going to remain calm and collected. Yes. Consistent. I ain't changing up. I'm not going to change what I say. I'm not going to change what I believe. I'm not going to change my faith. I'm not going to change any of that. I'm not going to be moved by the winds that come to blow and move me, because guess what? If my body moves, my feet are still going to be planted. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to keep saying for this next, thank you for the next month. Thank you, Wendy. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to keep saying the same thing. I'm going to consistently try to do better. I'm going to consistently believe that better is available. I'm not changing what I say. I'm going to keep on doing what I do. Y'all got any more C's? I could think of, I'm thinking of you all. I'm going to invoke community. Yes, I am. When it comes to vitamin C, I'm going to invoke community, my fellow passengers. Whatever you do, don't feel like you're suffering in silence. Don't go through this alone. When you're on word guard and you feel like the wrong words want to come up, call somebody who is in your community, who is in your circle, who is in your network, who's in your space. That's why we share this space, so we can realize that we're not just our brothers and our sisters keepers, but we are our brothers and our sisters themselves. Learn how to reach out to people. May I suggest that to us? Learn how to access community, you all. Don't go through alone. I can't stress that enough. Learn how to access the community that you are part of. Let people know. Let people know this month. Use your words and let people know when you need them to be an ear to listen and a shoulder to cry on. Let them know. If you need them to speak words of positivity over you, let them know. If you just simply need their presence. Right? I'm talking about vitamin C, you all. I'm talking about vitamin C. No man, woman, boy, or girl is an island unto himself. We are all in this thing together. We are all accountable to and responsible for each other. May I share something with you? And I just want to share. Wendy, you might be able to use this. May I share with you this one passage that says, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. You all, may I tell you what that's all about? That is all about the responsibility and the accountability that we have for one another. That passage is not meant to just fill up the synagogue or the cathedral or the temple. That's not what it's all about, but it's about at its core responsibility and accountability for each other. Feel a sense of community, a sense of responsibility. Thank you, Nadia. Cure with care. Make sure, I love that phrase. Thank you so much. Make sure, listen, you are cure with care. So that means when we seek to help each other, when we seek to help ourselves, do it from a space of care, consideration, and concern. Nadia, you didn't say all that, but that's what I felt. That's what I believed when you posted that. When we seek to help and to heal each other, you all, do it from a space of care, consideration, and concern. Considering yourselves and understanding that there, but by the grace of God, we could have ended up in the same situation from which we're trying to cure somebody else. And then, physician, heal thyself. You all listen, learn how to cure yourself as well. From a space of concern, consideration, and care. We're talking about vitamin C, and I realize my 1800 seconds is almost up, you all. But listen, may I also suggest that we learn to give ourselves a dose of cheer. Oh, listen, a dose of cheer, you all, because it's my vitamin C. A dose of cheer. I am going to have joy no matter what comes and no matter what goes. I might not, hear me clearly, I might not always be happy, but I will always have joy. Joy is the contentment that comes with knowing that my life is filled with promise, even if my current situation has a few hiccups. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. That's what joy is. Joy is not happiness. Happiness is based on situations. Happiness is based on circumstances. Happiness is based on what's going on. But I give myself a dose of cheer every day. I remember that I've got joy. And joy gives me strength. Joy is the contentment that comes, may I say it again, with simply knowing my life has promises, even though my current situation has gotten a few hiccups. Joy is the serenity and the peace that comes from knowing that just as his eye is on the sparrow, y'all don't make me go there. It comes with knowing that just as his eyes on the sparrow, he's watching over you too. That's what joy is. So I love giving myself a dose of cheer every morning. We're on Word Guard. We're using our words carefully. And one of the things that I like about giving myself a dose of cheer is that when I give myself a dose of cheer, you all, it reminds me that tears won't last forever. I won't cry perpetually. I won't live in sadness and sorrow eternally. But my tears have an expiration date. How do I know, Cutler? How can you say that? Because weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. The hope in that particular passage is that weeping may or may not. Weeping may or may not, but joy certainly will. I'm telling you all, Wendy says write this down because there's going to be a test on September the 30th. Please, you all, as often as you need to, come back and watch this particular. You all know I'm always passionate about everything, But I'm really passionate this month about speaking positivity over ourselves and over our lives. I really am. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate. May I just give a few more? And I know I'm almost at my 1800 seconds, but I'm passionate about reminding us as we give ourselves a dose of vitamin C, you all, give yourself a dose of candor, which means candid, which means honest. Be honest with what you need and what you don't need in your life. That would give you the power to use your words, because some stuff for you say, I don't need that. I might want it, but I don't need it. Word guard. Learn how to be centered, grounded, and at peace. Confrontational. I know we think of that word sometimes as negative, you all, but don't think of it as negative. Think of it as being something that's positive. Because when I say confrontational, here is what I mean. You don't have to be a weakling. Don't you let people trample over your peace. Don't let people trample over your hopes and your dreams. Don't let people trample into your space of trying and wanting to be better. Don't let people trample over that. You learn, face what faces you. Face what faces you. Confront what confronts you. There's another scripture that tells us, even when it comes to our faith, simply says, contend for the faith. So when it comes to your peace and your positivity, I'm telling you, face what faces you. Confront what confronts you. Know your constitution. And I don't mean the written document. Constitution means what you're made of. Know what's inside of you. I'll take one more that I see in the chat. And stay civil in character. Stay civil in character. We have things that are called civil liberties and civil rights. It means be human. Know how to treat people. The Civil War was a fight among people. Civil means to know how to act like a human being, respect humanity, and treat each other the way that you want to be treated, and treat them with love and with respect and with with consideration. Stay civil. I'm telling you all, and you sometimes you just can't rehearse this in your mind. Sometimes you've just got to call these words out with your mouth, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So you got to use these words. Stay civil in character. Your character speaks to who you are. Thank you, Tracy. And so I always want to be civil in my character. I want to be a human being at the core of who I am. We would have never had a civil war if people would have treated each other civilly. We would have never had to fight for civil rights if people would have stayed civil. We would never have to fight for civil liberties if we were civil, if we were human. Let's be human in our character. Let's be human in who we are. And then thank you. You all just keep popping these words out because you all want me to stay here, but then concentrate. Thank you, Naja. Concentrate, you all. All of these words, I hope you've written them down. Concentrate on these words. Concentrate on being better. Concentrate on what you say and how you say it. Concentrate on these things. Concentrate means I've got to make the mental effort to make this happen. I've got to make the effort to make this happen. I want to thank you all so much. I want to thank you all so much for this conversation. I think what I might do is just keep us on word guard. Would you all like that? I think I want to keep us on word guard and we just do this thing together. Speaking of community, Wendy, I think I want to do this thing together and we just stay on word guard this whole month. And so what I'll do, yes, I'll come with a quote. I promise I'll come with a quote. We'll unpeel it and we'll make it make sense. And we'll pull a word out or words. And we will keep ourselves on word guards, Auntie, and we will continue to be assiduous of the words that we use. Naja, thank you. Yes. follow Christ. I want to thank you all. Thank you all so very much. Thank you all so very much for these 1,800 seconds. I'll tell you all what I want to do. Tell you all what I want to do. I want to close by sharing this poem. And this poem happens to begin with the letter C. And I'll close out this way, if I may. Would you all just give me maybe 45 seconds to read this poem? Because here's how I want to conclude our conversation this evening. Commencement means to start or to start over, a beginning. Every day has a night. Every wrong has a right. Right there, right here, right now. I bow and I count the aching beats of my heart. Thump, thump, 1, 2. Thump, thump. 2, how, why? Thump, thump. 3, oh God. Every friend has a foe. Every yes has a no. No way, nowhere, no one to care while I remember the years of anguish and pain. Zoom 10, help me. Zoom 20, please. Zoom 30, oh God. Every break has a mend. Every start has an end. End now, please. End. The end of my pain, my anguish, and my aching heart. Every end has a brand new start. And you all, I shared that because I want you all to know this month of September, as we are on Word Guard, we're giving ourselves, some of us, a brand new start. I want to thank you. Yes, Naja, we're going to call this a September to remember. But thank you all for spending this time with me. I don't take it for granted. I really, really don't. I am honored and humbled that you would share this time in this space with me. Do me a favor, you all, just one more favor. If you haven't done so, please do a thumbs up on the conversation. But beyond that, let's keep building community, maintaining connectivity. I didn't even realize that, see, connectivity. Let's keep our heads up, keep our hopes up. You all know the Delta variant is out there. You all stay safe and you stay sane. And until the next time we meet next Tuesday, y'all enjoy the long weekend. Please know this, from my heart to yours, there is and will always be so much love. Good night to you all.